to Eat Right by George, the healthy cooking show that shows you healthy can be delicious. And speaking of delicious, we're going to be making some delicious banana nut bread. And for the banana nut bread, we're going to need 2 ripe bananas. And the reason I use ripe bananas is because they're a lot easier to mash, and they have a lot more sweetness because they've ripened more and their flavor has developed. So I'm going to take the 2 ripe bananas and mash them up. Next we're going to need vanilla, about a teaspoon of that, ground cinnamon, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a cup of sugar, 1 egg, and some walnuts are going to be needed just for a little bit of topping and garnish for the banana nut bread. And I love making banana nut bread because sometimes I get bananas that I haven't eaten and they're just sitting for a long time and I don't want to throw them away. So a lot of people out there are not sure what to do with their bananas. Well, there's a really easy and simple recipe right here for you here on Eat Right by George. So I'll get started right away. We need a bowl. And always I like to get the hard stuff out of the way first. I'm going to take my 2 bananas, and they're also nice and soft when they're ripe like this. They almost fall apart. Easier to peel. Throw the peels to the side there. As you can see, they come right out. And if you have a wooden spoon, just take them, or if you have a partner helping you, have them do it. Have them mash them up while you're measuring the ingredients. So while another person is mashing up the bananas, have another person measure out the flour. They could sift it, because I find that when you sift flour, the recipe comes out much better. It takes all the lumps out of the flour. It's a lot smoother. So you want to get all the lumps out of your bananas too. You want the bananas to be nice and smooth. That way when you put them in the mixer, there's no lumps. It's a lot easier for your mixer to combine all the ingredients. They smell so fresh when you're mashing them. Even if you have little tiny lumps, it's okay. You want to get the big ones. Those are the worst. Look how quickly I was able to get these mashed up. Usually a wooden spoon works best, but sometimes other people have other types of techniques. And this equals about 2 cups of bananas, mashed bananas. You can see, here they are, ready to go. So we have our bananas mashed, put those to the side. Next, actually put them over here out of the way. Next I like to take my flour, 2 cups, and sift it into my mixing bowl. Let me take these out real quick. See if these will come out. We'll sift them first. You get a much better product when you are sifting everything. You can see it comes out a lot more clear. And the great thing about bananas is that when you eat bananas, they satisfy your hunger a lot more than a lot of the other fruits. There's something about bananas that when you eat a banana, let's say you're hungry and you don't know what to eat that's healthy, well, your best bet really is to reach for a banana, because that will help to curb your hunger for probably a couple hours until lunch or dinner time, because they're more of a starchy fruit. So they are one of the starchier fruits, so if you're diabetic, you may want to have a small banana versus a big banana, because what happens with diabetics is they don't want to have too much starch in their diet. So once again, I'm going to put the rest of this in here. Really careful to get most of this sifted. I got most of the lumps out, so whatever's left, it's okay because it's not too bad. Let me get the rest of this. And I have also included, let's see, I have also included in here a tablespoon of baking soda. And baking soda, of course, is our leavening agent. And what it does is make our banana bread rise. So when our banana bread rises, then we know that it's ready. We got most of that sifted in there. And so it's ready. So sift it out. Most of it's all done. So don't waste too much time with that. Put this aside. Next, we don't want to forget our cinnamon. Of course, cinnamon, another great spice for diabetics, especially. Just want a teaspoon. Measure that out. Smells so good. It's such a great combination when you have bananas and cinnamon. They're just perfect. And another great combination, a little teaspoon of vanilla. A little vanilla to our banana mix. And last but not least, we're going to add our banana mixture. And connect our see, I wonder if I got it. Oh, it's the other way. Sometimes it can be really tricky if you don't get the right ones on there. Here we go. And lift off. Oops. Now while this is mixing, to help mix the dry ingredients, we're also going to add 1/3 cup of water. And I'm going to crack 1 egg. Let me get this in here all together. And crack our egg. And that's going to add a lot of moisture, and the egg also is going to help the banana bread to rise as well. It works along with, it's also a leavening agent, just as the baking soda. Now there is no fat in this recipe, so I haven't added any oil or any butter, in case you were wondering. So it's basically just flour, the mashed bananas, ground cinnamon, pure vanilla extract, sugar, 1 egg, and then 1/3 cup of water. And I hope you've been enjoying Eat Right by George. I haven't seen any of the recipes yet that people have been posting, so I'd love to see some of your recipes on Eat Right by George on the Facebook page. So if you have Facebook and you want to be our friend, you can add us. Just go to the search bar and type in Eat Right by George and just add us as a friend. And we love to see pictures of things that maybe you have cooked, things that you've learned about on Eat Right by George. As you know, we've done, lately we have done zucchini muffins, which was a great recipe. Zucchini brownie muffins, carrot cake. We have done, of course, the oatmeal, muesli, egg omelet. Just going back far there. Always when you're mixing, you want to stop your mixer and use your rubber spatula to get any kind of dry mix that may be stuck, because it always seems to happen. Some of the dry mix will get stuck to the side of the bowl, and then that's one reason sometimes things don't turn out. Wasn't mixed properly. So here we go again. Now near the end, when you feel that everything is all combined well, you want to turn it up for about 20 seconds on high. Kicking it up. That way everything's getting well blended. And the mix should be not too runny, but not too thick. It should have some body, as I'll show you in a minute here. Okay. What I like to do before they go into the oven is take a small little loaf pan, make sure it's sprayed so that it doesn't have any problem with getting the banana nut bread out. So make sure it's sprayed with cooking spray, and that way it's not stuck. So sometimes when it gets stuck, then it's very hard to get out, and that can be a problem. So I'm going to grab the cooking spray real quick. And make sure to get into the corners. That's where you have the most problem with these type of pans. Because as you might have seen in some of the prior shows, I use a springform pan where everything just pops right out. Well, with these, it doesn't pop out. You're going to have to spray them really well with some of the non-stick cooking spray. That way you don't have problems with maybe half of it coming out or only a portion. So next, I'm going to take a small little, take one of the measuring spoons here, pour some of it out. Going to get a cup of it. You can take a look and see here. I'm going to fill them about halfway, so when you do this, you don't want to overfill it because then it's going to come right out. So I put 2 cups of the mix, and I'll probably put maybe a half more. There we go. So about 2 cups of the mix, 2.5 cups. And what I like to do now is garnish it with a little walnut mixture. That's going to give you that added omega-3 fatty acids that everybody's talking about. Good for brain health and heart health. And then they don't look so plain either. So that's how I like to finish them. Make sure to have your oven preheated at 350 for 20 minutes. And then when you pop them into the oven, they should be ready within 30 to 35 minutes, golden brown. And make sure to poke a little toothpick through the very center, which is probably the highest point, should be the highest point. If the toothpick is clean, then your banana nut bread muffin, your banana nut breads are ready. So I'm going to put this into the oven. And then we'll take one of these. And they should look like this. So they have the proper volume. They should be, when you touch them, they should spring back. So if they keep going down, then you know something's wrong. If you touch it and then it stays, it should spring right back. You can see this springs right back. Beautiful texture and color, golden brown. I'm going to try to take one of these out here. Use our knife. So you can tap it. They pop right out, as I said before. So it's a nice texture, nice and even. And you can always take them. I like to slice a few pieces. In the morning, these are just super. You can see there's even little chunks of bananas in there, small chunks. This is great for the kids now that the kids are going back to school. If you have made these ahead of time, the night before school, they can have them in their lunch, or they can have this for breakfast in the morning. And it's a little bit more wholesome than some of the things that they're eating, like Pop-Tarts. This is much healthier than that. You can also slice some fruit if you're wanting to give something for the kids to have. We're actually going to put this over here now. You can take a little small apple. What I like to do is make little slices, thin slices. Because apples are so healthy and they have so much fiber, and of course, apple a day puts the doctor away, keeps them away. And once again, my favorite spice, I just like to take a little bit of that cinnamon and just dust it onto my apple.